Do you feel lost? Do you feel like you're not even being seen anymore? So many times, and it's not just women, it's men as well. If that's you, this is your podcast. This is your YouTube. This is going to be a catalyst for you. Oftentimes, especially as we age, but even if we're going through something, sometimes we don't feel seen. You know, are you in a room and you don't feel like anybody sees you or even knows that you're there? Are you having a conversation and people are just talking over you constantly? And sometimes you're like, wait a second, I was in mid-conversation, or I tried to say something and I was cut off. And oftentimes that happens when we're going through stuff. Whether it be perimenopause, menopause, menopause, that's a real thing. And I definitely, guys, open up your ears on that. That is definitely a real thing. It's something that happens when you're going through a crisis, post-crisis. You know, you're going through a divorce, a breakup, you just had a baby. There's so many things that can cause those things to happen for you. So I invite you to listen to this podcast and welcome back. It's been a long time coming. And I think that I could speak from an expert's terms on this, as the last few years have definitely been something else. And I will share a lot of my experiences with you, and I would love to hear all of your experiences as well and how you dealt with those. I definitely want to share how I've been able to come through on the other side of it and how life is changing, and I'm excited. I'm excited for what's next. But man, when I was in it, I was in it. And a lot of times the things that we take for granted in life, and then when our foundation crumbles, oh gosh. So I want to give us all a blueprint. I want this to be an open conversation. I want to hear about you. I want to hear what you're going through and what is right with your life and how you got to the other side of things. Today's episode, I'm super excited because I wanted to name this show Becoming Visible Again. And for today's episode, and my publisher has been on me. When are you going to start your podcasting again? When are you going to give me that course? I just did a contribution to a chapter, and my chapter was on becoming visible again. And you guys, I got real vulnerable. I talked about a lot of things that I didn't share with anybody. Unless you were in my very close circle, you would know about them, but probably only about 2 or 3 people really knew what I was really going through and how hard it was. And, you know, when we're so used to being the one that is giving the advice and being strong for everyone, and then when we reach out for help and people say to us, well, you're always the one with all the advice. And I'm just like, oh, shit. I just wanted you to hold space for me. I just wanted you to give me some words of encouragement. And I had to actually learn how to say that to people. You know, when someone comes to me, I'm always saying to them, do you need me to hold space for you? Do you want my personal opinion? Do you want my professional opinion? Or are you just venting? That way I kind of know where they're wanting me to show up. Because for me, how other people want me to show up for them is not how I want people usually to show up for me. So I had to get really clear on communicating that to people. And so I'm excited to break this all down for you. And gosh, it's just going to be really exciting. It's been a minute. So if I say and a lot, please ignore it. Don't come at me in the comments for it. And today, with this being called Becoming Visible Again, today we were sponsored by C. Louise. And C. Louise is my family. It is the most incredible PR company in the world. Their awards and the things that they have had happen in a company that is, I think they're about 10 years old now. And if you want to become visible, like if you really want to get out there and become visible, hire C. Louise to do that for you. And I promise you, your life will just take off in so many directions in such a beautiful, positive light with a really great team. I'm honored to be on the team with them. I do things behind the scenes for them, as far as like some coaching, and it's just really, it's fascinating. So align yourself with really amazing people, and I'll put their information here as our sponsor today. So I appreciate you guys for even being open to hearing this. So let's break this down. We're going to talk about when you're in your 20s, when you're in your 30s, when you're in your 40s, when you're in your 50s, and different things that happen in your life. In your 20s, you're just figuring it out, like you're having a good time. But I've really noticed with my clients that are in their 20s, this social media has really got them in their heads. You guys, stop caring what other people think about you. This is your life, this is your journey, and only you can do this, all right? You can get tools from everyone else, but if something doesn't resonate with you, it doesn't resonate with you, and that's okay. You turn your light on. And oftentimes when people get to my age, and especially if they're going through crisis like we talked about in the beginning, when you're in crisis, that light dims, whether you realize it or not. And so when you say that you're not being visible, a lot of times that light is dimmed, and energetically you're not projecting yourself out there the way that you could or should be. I knew that I was going through a lot of stuff. I knew that I didn't feel good, and there was a lot of things going on. And I was at my publisher's house for a retreat. Now, for whatever reason, her and I always end up in all of the pictures that we end up taking for all these years, even before she became my publisher and she was my friend. We always end up standing next to each other. And she had sent me the picture. I knew I was there. I knew what I wore. And I was like, well, where am I? Because at that time, I had lost so much of my hair. I used to always wear fake eyelashes, and I didn't have my eyelashes in because I didn't have any eyelashes to connect the fake eyelashes to. I had put on about 40 pounds, and it was for many reasons. Perimenopause was definitely one of them. I had some things that really weren't allowing me to work out, and I was fatigued constantly. The things that worked for us when we were in our 20s and 30s don't always work for us when we get older. So you really have to learn how to manage that and meet yourself where you're at. But when she sent me that picture and I couldn't find myself in the picture, I was like, oh my God. And then I saw myself and I'm like, who is that? Like, I didn't even recognize myself. I really had to get really deep. I did. It was hard, and it hurt. It really hurt. So what were all the things that caused me not to feel well, to, get sick, to... COVID was a big part of it. Like, I am not going to lie. I am not going to sugarcoat that shit at all. COVID really rocked my world. And with doing that, I was like, am I going to be a victim or a victor in all of this? So I dug deep, you guys. One of the things that I did to help my hair grow back, I don't even wear extensions anymore because my own hair has come back almost as thick as it was before, is I used rosemary water. My friend Debbie was like, you should try this. So I just boiled some rosemary, put some hot water, and boiled the hot water, and then strained it, and I spray my head all the time. Now make sure that you don't spray elsewhere because you'll get a little bit of growth in places. Now, is that woohoo? Maybe not. My grandma did it and it worked for her, so why don't I try it? I had to get some coaches. I'm a coach, and my specialty is transformation and mindset. and teaching a person. I can take someone and in 90 days transform their body and their mental and their physical, their financial, their relationships. Just give me 90 days and I can do that. But I couldn't do it with myself. I was in my own way. And what worked for me again before doesn't work for me now. So I went to so many doctors. Like the amount of time and energy that I have put into doctors is incredible. And I found some really great ones. I'm a big believer in preventative medicine, which would be Eastern medicine. But I also am a big believer in Western medicine when you need it. I did find a doctor, and I really like the fact that one of the crazy things is I eat spinach. I love spinach. Now, when I was little, I did not like spinach. And my dad would make it, and if I didn't eat it for dinner, I had to eat it for breakfast. Now, I'm a Gen Xer, so don't come at my parents about that, all right? We were raised a little bit differently, where whatever you're served, that's what you're going to eat for dinner. And so I wouldn't eat my spinach. But now as an adult, like, I crave spinach. Do you know that spinach was one of the things that was making me really sick? And I ate spinach every single day. So what had worked for me forever wasn't working for me at this time in my life. And I thought spinach was healthy. Sure, it's healthy, but it's not healthy for me. The workouts that I was used to doing, I couldn't do because I would get sick. Your cortisol levels go up when you exercise, and exercise is so important to me. Exercise is breath, and I couldn't exercise the way that I like to exercise. So not only was my body losing its muscle tone, mentally I was like, oh my gosh, I can't do it. Now, I'd probably walk 2 or 3 hours a day, but I really had to get clear on that as well. A couple of weeks ago, I went to an R&B yoga class. Now, I have always prided myself on my strength and my flexibility, and it hurt. When I was in the class, I did not have the range of motion through my thoracic because my back is all locked up right now. And I went to the doctor today and, got some adjustment and got some acupuncture. And she's like, Jodie, you really need to step up your practice of your yoga. And I was like, check, got it. Like, I'm in this. I am so committed to my health and my well-being and to your health and your well-being. But it's not all about the abs, all right? Yes, do I want six packs? Do I want to be a size 4 again? Absolutely, I do. Now, do I care what the scale says? Sure, but do I want to be healthy? And that's it too. I'm working with some friends that I'm doing their program and being coached through them. It's completely natural, it's anti-inflammatory, and it's really helping me a ton. And it's all the same foods that I would normally have into my life that I can eat, yet they're just in a little different ways, which is really interesting. So I'll share some more about that with you later. But I want you to go on this journey with me. This first episode here is just me talking to you, finding out where you are in your life. Do we want the abs and do we want the alignment? Yes. But do we want the mind, body, spirit alignment as well? Absolutely. Every morning I wake up and I say, thank you, God, for the beyond blessed life that you have given me. And you continue to bless me with uncommon favor. Thank you for the signs. Show me how I can be of service. And daily it shows up. It truly does. And I found that when I'm out of my practice of doing that, things don't always line up. Things are a little bit off. And you really have to put it out there. Be consistent with it. So let's be consistent together. Why don't you put into the comments for me, what are you feeling like right now? What is it that you desire in your life? We are not going to stay in telling our old story. We're not. Like, I don't know if you noticed, but I was really struggling getting my words out to say what had happened in my life, and I probably won't ever go into complete detail of it. But there was a lot of loss, personally, with business, with my dogs, with my friends. There was so much with how I felt physically, emotionally. And I don't want to stay in that story. I don't want to keep talking about it. What I want to talk about is how do we make it right? What is right with our life? How do we move forward? How do we do that as a community? How do we support each other? So leave me some comments. I appreciate you. And this is just a little snippet of what's to come. And let me know, do you guys want 30-minute episodes? Do you want hour episodes? What does that look like for you? And yes, for those of you who always message me and say, Jodie, you didn't have your lights on. Jodie, you forgot to wear your lipstick. I did put on lipstick, but I don't have any lights. I just was like, if I don't get this done, it's not going to get done. And that was key, because if I kept thinking about how to make it right, do I go rent a studio? I've looked at all of these things, like renting a space to host the podcast, and I was just getting in my own way. So I sat down right now, threw on some lipstick. I'd been out running around all day long, and I'm in my t-shirt and my yoga pants, and here we are, just showing up day by day, and we're going to do this together. So I appreciate you. I love you, and we will talk soon, and I will probably add on to this.